Recent tensions between Afghanistan and Pakistan have reignited one of South Asia's oldest border disputes, the Durand Line. The Durand Line is a 2,640 kilometers border between Afghanistan and Pakistan, drawn in 1893 by British diplomat Sir Mortimer Durand and Afghan ruler Amir Abdur Rahman Khan. This agreement, known as the Durand Agreement, was signed during the period of rivalry known as the Great Game, when the British and Russian empires competed for influence in Central and South Asia. At that time, Afghanistan acted as a buffer state to protect British India from possible Russian expansion. For the British, the Durand Line was a strategic boundary meant to secure their empire's northwestern frontier. But for Afghanistan, it became a line of Division 1 that cut through Pashtun tribal regions, splitting families, friends, and entire communities. It runs through the Hindu Kush and Sulayman Mountains, separating tribes that once shared the same culture, traditions, and language. When British India was partitioned in 1947 and Pakistan was created, the newly formed state inherited the Durand Line as its official international boundary. Pakistan recognized it immediately and has since maintained that it is final and legitimate under international law. However, Afghanistan has never accepted it. Afghan leaders have long argued that the Durand Agreement was signed under pressure during the colonial era and that it expired after British rule ended. In fact, Afghanistan was the only country to vote against Pakistan's admission to the United Nations in 1947, highlighting the depth of this dispute. Over the decades, the Durand Line has remained a source of mistrust and instability. Cross-border militancy, illegal trade, refugee movements, and smuggling have all contributed to tension between the two nations. The tribal regions, especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan, have faced decades of conflict and economic hardship as a result. In recent years, Pakistan's decision to fence the border in an effort to control terrorism and movement has further increased tensions. Afghanistan sees this as an attempt to make the division permanent, deepening resentment among communities divided by the line. Today, the Durand Line's impact goes far beyond the border itself. It shapes Afghanistan-Pakistan relations, influences regional politics, and even affects the interests of India, China, and other global powers operating in South Asia. The instability in these areas has allowed terror networks and smugglers to operate freely, making regional peace more difficult to achieve. In many ways, the Durand Line is more than just a border. It's a symbol of colonial legacy, lost identity, and unfinished history. It reminds us how decisions made over a century ago continue to shape the politics, security, and lives of millions today. Until Afghanistan and Pakistan reach a mutual understanding, the Durand Line will continue to stand not just as a line on a map, but as a reminder of how history, power, and geography can divide people and how unresolved pasts continue to define the present. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.